Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Joe Santaniello, who is the chairman for Cruise Night on Main in Middletown. Joe, welcome. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Santaniello,
hey,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Santaniello. Excuse me.
That's all right.
Excuse me. Joe Santaniello with the Cruise Night on Main in Middletown. Joe, how are you?
I'm good today. How are you?
Good, thanks. Good. Thanks for coming down. Thanks for some time. So, Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved with Cruise Night on Main.
So after I got out of the United States Navy, I found a job in Middletown at a little automotive restyling center, which is called Attention to Detail now, right on DeCoven Drive. Sure. And I worked there for 16 years.
Oh, wow.
So cars are always been in my blood. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. And just started venturing into the nonprofit world, a little bit with United Way and a couple of the organizations in Middletown. Sure. And then eventually was introduced to the chamber, and they have all these events going on. They're always looking for volunteers, so just thought I'd get involved. And each year they just involve you a little bit more, and next thing you know, you're running the car show.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Now, how hard is it to run the car show? I'm sure you got to keep all your ducks in a row and hopefully juggle all the balls and see what sticks.
I get the easy part. I'm just like the chairman. All the heavy duty work gets done behind the scenes at the changer. So I mean, with Haley at the chamber and Johanna at the chamber and all the staff there, I mean, they're great. I couldn't do it without them. They could definitely do it without me.
Now, as far as the car show goes, I understand that we're actually coming back after taking a couple of years off because of the COVID. And what can people expect?
Well, they can expect a lot of cars.
Absolutely.
Sure. I think people are, I think they're excited to be kind of on the tail end of COVID, let's hope anyways. And
yeah, right.
Just excited about being back in Middletown. I mean, we have the best Main Street there is. I mean, there's no better Main Street than Main Street Middletown. And I think people love just filling the spots and walking around and just talking to people and, telling the story about your car and, where you got your parts from, where you found your car, or if you just maybe you wrote a check and just took it home. Doesn't matter. But it's pretty cool. I think people are excited about getting back to Main Street and being in person. Other than the Chamber's Pride event, it's probably one of the largest events that we throw every year. So I know I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And the event is coming up. When is it?
It's June 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 4:30. So we'll start closing the Main Street down around 2:30 and bagging the parking meters and moving people off Main Street so we can start parking all these cars, because it takes a couple hours to put everybody in a spot safely, you know. And then we get a little break and we fill up the South Green. That's where it gets a little chaotic, but we have plenty of volunteers, so it's going to be safe. People should not feel worried about anything. They should come down and just expect to have a great time.
Now, can they enter their car, or is it only spectator?
No, you can bring your car down. It's a $10 suggested donation, which goes towards the Middletown youth programs run by the Chamber. So it's great $10 to spend, and we'll probably have 700-800 cars. I mean, I imagine it's going to be packed. I said, like you mentioned, the last couple of years has been COVID, so when we first realized that we weren't going to have the regular car show, because it just wasn't something that we, the Chamber felt comfortable with, and we decided to move to a virtual platform, and we were able to get people together and kind of line the cars up, and we drove them down Newfield Street, and we did a little track around Middletown, and we finished up at the hospital to say thank you to the first responders and the folks that work there, and how grateful we were for all their service. And that was fun, but it doesn't get the attention it does when you're actually on Main Street and there's just so many cars and the vendors are there and food is there, and we have the PD that brings down their old school their PD cars. We've got some retired Army folks that bring down their vehicles. I mean, it's really everything and anything. It doesn't matter what you have. Just bring it down and just park it and walk around, have a great time, and see everybody's car.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, obviously, how big is the committee?
We have about 14 people, I think.
Okay.
It takes a lot of volunteers to run the committee. We got a lot of great folks. We got the Over the Hill gang that helps us out. We couldn't do it without them, and they're in charge of really running the show and making sure the cars get parked safely and kind of laying out how the whole flow goes. I mean, they do this they do this a million times in the summer. So
Yeah.
we're grateful for the help. We couldn't do it without them. They're great at it. They know how to park these cars. They know how to get people to pay attention and pull into the spot and keep everybody from, anybody from, nothing bad from happening. It's just super safe. They're just excellent at it.
Absolutely. Now, what is the Over the Hill Gang?
So they are they're just a car club in Connecticut, and it's filled with all kinds of different vehicles, and there's a couple of, they have a steering committee that's kind of like we do, and they throw a ton of car shows in the summertime. So I just had one a couple weeks ago. It was great. So they really know the process. They know how to get it done. They know how for it to be safe, which is great.
You got a favorite classic car?
Do I? I'm not a huge classic car guy, but if I had to pick something, it'd probably be some type of a Stingray Corvette.
Okay.
For sure, yeah.
Nice. Now, as far as I'm sure, and we talked about this a little bit more earlier, but with the pandemic, I'm sure doing the virtual car show a couple of years ago when you guys did it probably wasn't as much fun.
It was a lot less to manage.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
We could do that. We could do that with our eyes closed compared to this. I mean,
yeah, right.
After doing the car show for many years on Main Street, the virtual thing was a walk in the park. I mean, really, it was as many cars as we could put into this parking lot that we had at Napa, which is always our sponsor. And once we were done packing the lot, people could walk around and. People had their masks on, and we were safe, and we were making sure everybody knew that this was a safe place to be, and everybody got the chance to hang out with everybody, but kept their distance. And then once we were ready, the PD took us through our predetermined path around Middletown. We had a water main break the year before last, so that kind of threw us off. The police department had to kind of change their path on the fly there, but they're always there. The fire department's there. We have plenty of folks from first responders that are always making sure that everything is safe. So we did that, and we had some Facebook Live coverage, and I think we had a drone coverage, and we were making do with what we had. We realized that this was the best we could do given in the middle of a pandemic. So and we did it this second year as well, just because we still weren't ready. Chambers, they're concerned with public safety, so we wanted to make sure that everybody felt comfortable, and we finally got approval this year to go back to Main Street between the chamber and the town and the PD and the fire department, and we're happy.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
So obviously, the chamber's keeping busy as far as events and stuff.
Yeah, they did such a great job during the pandemic. I mean, they were really the go-to place. If you had a problem and you had a hurdle that you couldn't overcome, the chamber was the place to go. They were pushing harder, working longer hours. I don't know how they do it. Their team there is solid. Larry, Johanna, they're rock stars. And
Haley.
They just make it happen. Haley, everyone there, they're all rock stars. They worked twice as hard during the pandemic to make sure that they fought for the things that the local businesses needed, because that's what they're about. And we were super grateful to have them.
Absolutely. I've never had a chance to interview Larry. Is he as nice as he seems?
Larry's the best.
Is
Coach.
He? Yeah.
Yep, he is the best.
I've met him a couple times, but I've never had a
super nice
chance
guy
to interview him.
Awesome guy. Whatever you need, he's there. I mean, just a couple of months ago, I had just a question about something in general, and I called up, made a little 30-minute appointment with him, went to his office, and just anybody can get an appointment. Just go over there and book some time with him, and he's great. I mean, he's just focused on community.
Absolutely. And you were involved with the United Way as well.
Yep, I sit in the board of directors for the United Way and Mark Community Resources in Middletown, and I'm a nonprofit person. I love volunteering.
You still on the board with the United Way?
I am. Yeah.
You are? I mean, do you know my friend Jim Crawford?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've known Jim for many years.
Yeah, actually, that was the first nonprofit that I got involved with.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. We just had no idea what nonprofits did, and no idea what the United Way was about, and just started getting involved, and that's how I got hooked.
Absolutely. I actually, right before we retired, I had Kevin Wilhelms on with me.
Yep.
And Kevin came down because Kevin and I go back.
Yeah. No. And actually, he was the one who got me involved in.
Okay.
He used to be a customer of mine when I worked at this automotive shop. And, always, hey, what do you guys? And he he presented me. He's like, I think you'd be good for this new pilot program we're doing. It was called the Young Leaders Association.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, oh, all right, sounds kind of cool. And actually, some of the folks I met there that I'm still good friends with now that are just lifelong friends, some of the best people I've ever met.
Oh, no, I'm the same way. People are just, yes, you got to make time to sit down and talk to people, but they're some of the people that you talk to. I've known Jim Crawford for about 15 years.
Yeah.
He's just he's a wealth of knowledge.
Yep.
Wealth of knowledge.
For sure.
Good person. And now, as far as giving back to the community, how important do you think it is to give back to the community?
Oh, you have to. I mean, it's a must. And there's the less fortunate folks out there that need some help. So whether it's, and it doesn't just mean writing a check. Sometimes it's volunteering for the local food pantry or something that one of the nonprofits has put together. And if you're in the position to write a check, that's good too. But it takes all kinds of different volunteers. It's super important. I mean, it's hard to make a change on a bigger level, but you start in your local community.
Absolutely.
You want to make sure you work with the programs that are available and donate your time and do the best you can, because we all have to live together.
Absolutely. Now, what's the history of Cruise Night? How did it get started?
I don't know if I know the history of it. I know that this is the 25th anniversary.
Okay.
So that's cool.
So it started 25 years ago.
Yeah. So it started 25 years ago. Yeah. And I have no idea who ran it back then, but I'd say I was involved as a volunteer for 2 years, and then I got more and more interested, and then I got asked, like, hey, I think you'd be a great chairman for the car cruise, right? Yes. Just say yes. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. How do you say no to the chamber? How do you say no to Larry?
The question is, were you at the meeting when they appointed you?
I'm not sure.
I was going to say
no, it was kind of a surprise to me.
I was going to say the normal rule.
If you're not there,
is public services. If you're not there, you're going to get appointed to something without knowing about it.
Yeah. No. I was happy to do it. I was surprised because. The folks that ran it before me, they were just good, but it was time for a change, and they asked me, and I couldn't say no. So,
absolutely. Now, let's talk about vendors for Cruise Night. What can people expect?
Oh, food vendors. We have a ton of them. Just a ton. There'll be everything there, from the kettle corn guy who's been there forever and ever and ever. There is going to be food trucks and all, whatever food that you could possibly want is going to be there. You got Vaquitos will be there. I know Scat's Catering will be there. They do barbecue. They're local in Middletown. It's no shortage of food, I can assure you. And it's great because the restaurants that are on Main Street usually do really well that night.
Right.
And of course, restaurants got hit pretty hard during the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
So, we're happy to bring some business to Main Street, and we're happy to, help fill up their seats and let them flourish that night, because I know it's going to be good for them.
And obviously, you're praying for a night like today.
Oh, today was a gorgeous day. There was a couple of clouds in the sky. I couldn't have asked for a better day. It was beautiful. So I'm hoping that that's exactly the type of day that we're going to have on the 15th. That would be awesome.
Would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Sure.
All right, we'll be right back.
Better Business Bureau is warning consumers about a used car scam. The scammer pretends to be a woman who's lost her husband, and it says she's trying to get rid of his car. The scammer claims they'll put your money in escrow for 5 days, so if you don't like the car, you can get your money back. But BBB's investigation has uncovered that the escrow or logistics firm the scammer is using isn't legit. Many of these websites lead back to a virtual office in Hartford. Never wire funds for an online purchase, and always make sure you can see the car in person before you buy.
You matter.
You matter.
You matter.
And your words matter too.
Your words matter.
What you say in the hallways at school or in the student section at a game matters.
Words can be hurtful.
Words can be offensive.
Words can leave scars.
Words can also inspire,
support,
and uplift.
You and your words.
Are they both important?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Joe, who's the chairman for Cruise Night on Main in Middletown. Joe, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Joe, we were talking about in the first segment Cruise Night on Main. So let's open up this segment, maybe giving people that are just joining us some nuts and some bolts of cruise night, exactly when it is, where it is, what time it is, some minor details?
Sure. So it starts at 4:30. So it'll be June 15th, starts at 4:30. I mean, the chamber staff and all the volunteers will be there early, prepping for all these cars to be here. We work with the parking authority. They bag all the meters first, make sure we move folks off of Main Street, as politely as possible, because sometimes people are still lingering around or they're trying to park early. So
exactly,
we do our best. And then from there, it's just getting to the front gate and making sure everybody gets there. As everybody comes in, you'll take their we'll take their donation, and then they'll just start moving down Main Street. We start parking cars all the way down by just a little bit past the chamber, so right where Washington Street crosses Main Street. And we'll just start parking cars on the side and in the middle, and that over the hill gang, they'll just keep going until we're all the way back to the South Green. We break a little bit in the middle by the police department, because that's where the showmobile will be, where our entertainment will be, so we'll live music. And then we have vendor row, which is right by, all the vendors will be up by Main Street by the PD, and then we also have a row that goes down, I think it's Court Street, where we stick some of the vendors down there. Nice. So, usually when you're walking by, you can grab some food or whatever you want. And then sometimes the restaurants will take advantage, as they'll have specials, and they'll be standing outside serving food and things. So.
Nice. Now, we got food trucks and food vendors, right? So come hungry?
Oh, come hungry. Yeah. I'm excited. I've got a couple of buddies that have some food trucks, so I know they're looking forward to it. Registered early and ready to go.
There you go. There you go. Now, if someone wants to participate for Cruise Night, they can actually come and participate and actually show their vehicle?
Yeah. You can come right up to the front gate. You can pay a $10 donation, and they'll park you, and then you just get out and walk around, and that's all it is. You'll be given a little tag. It'll tell us a little bit of information about your car, and year, make, and model. We'll take your cell phone number, so that if one of those sponsors chooses your car as a winner, we'll be able to find who that is and make sure we can take everybody's photo. We're doing things a little bit differently this year. Normally we would bring all of the vehicles down to the center stage, but with as many people as we are expecting to have, it's hard to walk. I think we have a total of 18 sponsors that are allowed to choose awards. So we are worried about walking 18 cars down through the crowd, especially. Right. And we decided that we're going to have our main sponsor, which is Napa, and the mayor's choice will be center stage, and then everybody else is going to be, we're going to take pictures and do some Facebook live streaming right from where they are. This way we don't have to move the car, so we don't have to worry about any incidents happening. Not that we've ever had any, but it's with this year we got a lot more sponsors than we anticipated, and which is great. We're super grateful, but we want to make sure that we're not walking 20 cars through a crowded spot.
that probably would not go too well.
No. So even with the PD there, it gets a little tricky. So we're going to change that up a little bit. But yeah, you just come to the front gate, you register right there. They'll give you some information. You fill it out, you put it on your windshield, and that's it.
Now, do you have a choice of where to park, or do they just tell you where?
Our guys will park you. Yeah. So Over the Hill Gang is in charge of parking everybody, and again, we'll start all the way down where Washington intersects with Main, and then we park in the stalls on the street, and then right down the middle as well too. So they've got it all figured out.
I was going to say, sounds pretty organized to me.
Yeah, we do a walkthrough a couple days prior to make sure everyone's on the same page. So there's no issues with parking, because if that gets out of whack, it gets nasty.
Organized chaos.
Yeah, organized chaos. So we want to make sure that everybody gets parked safely, and we maximize the space that we have, because we get up to the South Green pretty quick, and then now we start parking cars on the green, and that's toward the end. Eventually we max out, and then the PD will close up the front gate with the barriers to make sure that we've reached our max participation, and then you're welcome to park somewhere else on Main Street and walk down if you'd like.
Absolutely. What is obviously with this year being the first year after a while of no events, how many people are you expecting? That's a tough call.
Yeah, thousands of people, I would imagine. I mean, it's such a fun show. It's a great time. It's so family friendly. Like I said, PD is there, the fire department's there. There'll be plenty of public service around. So we just imagine that people are just going to flood in this year, and it's really kind of other than the Pride, which was last weekend, it's really the biggest event that we have for the Chamber, and I think a lot of people look forward to it because it brings them down to Main Street. They've got all those great restaurants down there, all those great businesses to walk through, and as you're looking through cars, you're stopping in the shops, maybe you're buying something, maybe you're getting a pizza or a beer from one of the places up there.
Absolutely.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. And we have a assortment of sponsors, I understand.
We do, yeah, we sure do. So I wrote everything down, make sure I didn't forget everybody, but obviously our presenting sponsor is Napa.
Okay.
They have been since as long as the car show has been around, which is great. They do it every year.
Yep.
We have our Top Gear sponsors, which is Charles IT, which happens to be the company that I work for.
That's right.
We have the Downtown Business District, which is everything that embodies the whole downtown
So everything
section.
downtown.
Oh yeah, everything downtown. Eli's Cannon Tap Room,
Yep.
and of course Key Chevy, who took a huge interest in our car show in the last couple of years since they moved in when Jackson moved out, and they've been great community partners. And Chuck down there and everybody has been just awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, if people want to get involved with the car show, what can you tell them?
Well, I would say to give the Chamber a call and say that you're looking to volunteer. I mean, we are still looking for volunteers. It takes about 40 volunteers on top of the Chamber staff to make this all happen. So we could use a few more.
I was going to say, are we still looking for volunteers?
Yeah, we are absolutely still looking for volunteers. Yeah. So we're looking for people to direct traffic, which is the biggest thing. So we break the traffic flow into different blocks, and each block has a captain. Captain's in charge of 4 or 5 people who are, we just need to keep the traffic flowing. So you're just, you hold your coffee in one hand, you're flagging another, and just make sure the cars stay in the path and the line. We don't want anybody to pull off and parks on their own. We want to make sure the Over the Hill gang parks everybody safely. And but yeah, you could do that. There's help setting up. There's help cleaning up.
No, yeah.
There's plenty. There's plenty. So we could definitely use some more volunteers. So if they want to, they should definitely reach out to Haley at the Chamber, and she can connect them with our staff.
Cool. And you guys are obviously expecting. You guys want a day like we've had today, tomorrow, yesterday.
It's beautiful.
We want a beautiful weather day.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk rain date because I don't even want to think about that. I just want to know that it's going to be beautiful on that Wednesday.
Exactly.
And we're going to have a good time. And then I go on vacation for 2 days. So
there you go. some time to breathe.
Yeah. So I'll work all day long on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday I'm on vacation. So
there you go. Now, one thing we didn't talk about. We talked about food, but we didn't talk about entertainment. What types of entertainment can people expect?
So we're going to have a band on the showmobile, and they're going to be doing all kinds of different music from all kinds of different eras.
Nice.
So you can expect to have all kinds of cool music down there. And let's see. Yeah, and there'll be other music scattered around Main Street. We've got other bands scattered all over, so they can have some music. But the showmobile will be where our main attraction is, and that. Even from a couple years ago, I mean, bands are always great. Yeah. Try to use somebody new all the time, and I think it's going to be really awesome.
And obviously, you're encouraging everybody to come on down because it sounds to me like it's going to be a family-friendly community event.
Plenty of PD, plenty of fire department, plenty of first responders. We're not. We've never had an issue in as many years as I can remember. I think everybody feels really good. Everybody feels like it's a safe environment, which is super important to the Chamber because that's our #1 priority.
Absolutely. And I'm sure people are itching to get out because they've been all cooped up for.
I know I am.
Oh, me too.
For sure. I mean,
Me too.
I mean, I've been to a couple of car shows here and there in the last couple of weeks, and I mean, the crowd is engaging. Everybody's willing to talk about their story, and everybody is just super friendly. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I was telling you off camera, my dad has a 1971 Mercedes-Benz, which he got when my uncle passed away, and we've started taking it to car shows, and it's just been a great experience so far. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's nothing like car folk.
And
even if you're not car folk, it doesn't matter.
No,
just coming down and just taking a look and just seeing everything, and everybody's super friendly. You walk up to somebody you don't even know and be like, hey, what year is that?
Yeah.
Ask them to tell them the story of how they got it. Maybe they got it from their parents, or who knows. It's great to listen to the stories. My favorite part is just connecting with the car owners.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that. Just walking around and just listening to the stories, and some of them are super cool.
Oh yeah, my dad also has a 1987 Porsche 911.
Oh, that is a cool car.
He's got 2 cool cars in the garage.
Those are my kind of cars.
Oh, absolutely.
Those are my kind of cars.
Absolutely. We don't know which one we're going to come up with yet, but I'm sure we'll show.
All right.
I was talking to him the other day and was telling him about my show for tonight, and he texted me today. He's like, he's like, when you get home tonight, make sure you let me know when the car show is, because he's like, I'll pick you up from work, and we'll go directly up he's like, I'll pick you up at the office and we'll go directly up to Middletown from there. I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Oh yeah, especially in that car.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But we got about 20 seconds left. But if people want more information on Cruise Night on Main, where are they going?
Chamber website,
okay.
And plenty of information there, or you just call the chamber.
Okay. Joe from Cruise Night on Main, thanks for some time, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Great, thank you for having me.
You got it, thank you. On behalf of Joe, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next time.